Phaphamo e kgolo ya batho ke a le dumedisa kajeno. Ke na le potso kajeno ho lona. Motho tsoha hore na nakong ya Apartheid ka 1950s, from 1948 ha ho fihla Apartheid kwana, potso ya pele ke hore na e fihlile ka bomang. Mme re ile ra bona we were exposed and introduced to Apartheid, or Apartheid as we know it. And it was only a battle between two groups after they form what we call a race. It was a non-Europeans and Europeans. My question is, where were Indians, number one, and where were colors? Because in today's South African, our children, even us, were taught about the groups that live in South Africa are white, blacks, Indians, and colors. Nakong ya Apartheid iluba, the colors and the Indians were falling under Europeans. There was no whites, remember. Because today we're talking about these Afrikaaners and the Khoisans claiming also to be part of this land. Nakong eo ho lwanang group tse pedi tse di lwantshwang ho banana le tsona tse nang le bothata, ha e ne ba ho thwe ho nona ebile ne ntse le teng nakong ya stadium, nakong ya maeto, nakong ya terene le nakong ya di-toilet. Ho nona di-toilet tsa de non-Europeans and Europeans. You Indians, where were you? Because you are not from Europe. Where were you? And you colors as well. Answer this question. In this scenario, where are you appearing? Nelinka lehlakore la the non-Europeans, or you were taking the side of the Europeans? Because when we are claiming to get what is ours back to us, you're now telling us no, South Africa belongs to those who live in it. Now we're talking about the Arabs. Now we're talking about all these nations still in Tenkajin. Lefatsheng lena la rona la South Africa, Southern Africa. It's not all about this color of the skin, because now the Khoisans can claim they look like us. I don't even know what is Khoisan. Maybe someone can explain it and elaborate it more better. Then we can maybe start to know where we go from that definition we can get. But truly speaking, Apartheid was built against and for only two groups, non-Europeans and Europeans. Where were Afrikaners? Because today they want to isolate themselves from, no, we are not Indians, we are not Americans, we are not Basques, we are not Arabs, we are not British, Germans, Hollands, France. You know you are the children of one DNA. But today you want to play games even more and more longer than you did last time. Haeba re ba soto re entertainer taba eo. Ai. Re tla ba elellwa game e bapalwang ke batho ba rona ke efeng? You, the Europeans. Europeans and non-Europeans, you know yourself. That's why I'm asking the Indians today and the colors. Where were you then? Were you in among the group called non-Europeans, or were you in the Europeans? Because there's this lady that I was just watching a few days ago saying even the Indians were oppressing their own people. Explain this to us. Colors, where you come from. Because your language that we are talking today, the language that we are speaking today, is telling us where you descend from. You cannot lie. You cannot just wake up and finding yourself speaking Afrikaans and then you deny that you are the seed of the Afrikaners. And that you guys are busy calling us Africans. Yet we hated, even our forefathers hated Afrikaans. The youth back in the day refused to be taught in Afrikaans in their schools. Stop calling us Africans. And you Afrikaners, you know you are Europeans by DNA. You are Germans by DNA. You are Caucasians by DNA, by so speaking. There's no land you can claim, whether it's Orania, whether it's Cape Town, whether it's any land in South Africa. In South Africa, there's no land that you can claim it's yours or your forefathers. Go back where you come from. You know where you come from. If you don't know, and I bet you know because your ancestors have left you your story where you come from. They've been narrating all these things, but today you want to withhold on that deceptions, deceiving yourself, and yet you know. And yet you know. There's no place for you here, guys. There's no way, me being brown, I can go to Europe and claim a land since I lived there after 40, 50 years. There's no way I can claim that I'm now a citizen. I'm now a bona fide European. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way, guys. There's no way. My question of today is, during 1950s, after 1948, Indians, where were you? Because you are not appearing in the picture. Europeans and non-Europeans, you are not appearing in the picture. You were hiding somewhere. Coloreds, where were you? And so-called white, because I never saw a white person, where were you? Because now we hear the story of the Afrikaners, the Boers. Wara, 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 wara. You've been deceiving us. Worst part, you've been deceiving yourself the most. Cut the crap and go back home. Otherwise, it's not going to end well. I'm warning you. I'm warning you. I'm just warning. This is just a warning, not a threat. This is a warning. Because you cannot keep benefiting from what was stolen and you are busy inheriting it and claiming to be your forefathers' inheritance. Have you ever asked themselves, where do they come from and where all those inheritance they got them from? You never asked that. You never asked that. They came here with nothing. Therefore, it's guaranteed and given. You will leave this land with nothing if you don't decide to leave now while you still have something in your hand. Like I said, this is a warning. This is the question standing for today. If it was between the blanket, non-Europeans and the Europeans, you Afrikaners, where were you? You Indians, where were you? And you coloreds, where were you?